All right. All right, here we go. And Mark, I'm gonna mute you just to make sure that the audio, the video is always there. But please
Okay.
unmute if you need anything. Okay. So we'll just do this a few more times. Exercise 1 of the 12 yang set, Neigong from the Wu style Tai Chi. Inhaling up. Soft palms. Exhale down. Inhaling up 2 like you're picking up rocks. Very gentle grab. Inhaling up 3. Even deeper inhalation, pulling apart like you're pulling apart a string. All the tensions in the mind. Exhale on either side of the hip. Inhaling up. Mouth stays closed, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth. You don't have to stand up, stay seated. Grabbing the rocks, 2. First 2 are in front of the hips. 3, inhaling up, Phoenix Eye Fist. Even deeper, pull apart. Exhale down. 1 more, inhaling up. 2, grab the rocks. And 3. Normally do that entire set of 3 10 times. And then the next exercise, this is punching. I forgot the exact name of this, punching on both sides. I'm gonna inhale into the belly. It's
a hollow fist or?
Punching the bottom of the C, I believe. Very gentle hollow fist rested on the hips. You're gonna stay seated the entire time. Inhaling to the belly and exhale and punch, pushing the breath through the index and middle finger just past the hip behind you. And then you're gonna inhale, pulling up all the breath into the lower dantian, the belly, and exhale. Inhale, the fist becomes hollow again as it comes up, and exhale. Right at the end, you do that little squeeze, about an inch or 2 beyond your full extension, and the fist flexes. It's just the waist. The hips stay behind. So if the hips were to move, the knee would move. So we're going to keep the knees and the hips stationary, and this is all the waist. Inhale and draw the color up the arm into the belly, and exhale. This is all about whipping the breath visualization from the belly through the limb. Inhaling up. You should really feel the waist, the work in the waist. The eyes look down and the head only turns enough with the body as it needs to. Otherwise, it's straight ahead and aligned with the heart and chest. I normally inhale right back to center, and then from center, exhale and punch down. And again, you're punching past your hip, behind you, and down. You really want to push the mind, the breath, beyond the knuckle about an inch or 2. One more on each side. And then now the galloping horse, I believe, inhaling up. Very similar to the first exercise. Even deeper. And then exhale in front of the hips. Inhaling up. Even deeper. The outside of the hips. Inhaling up. Even deeper. Collarbone height, and exhale. In front of the hips. Inhaling up. Breath lifts the wrists. And then on the second exhalation, so there's 2. Every 2 is 1 exercise. It's a set of 2. Inhaling up, even deeper. You need to stand up, and then sit down. Inhaling up, often have challenges keeping both of my palms and fists, palms and fingers flat and in front of me, which is where ideally they should be for the form of this exercise. But I find it fine if you have a slight turn in, which is sometimes how just the way I feel the circulation in my body. Sometimes I have to turn my palm a little bit to feel the increase in circulation in my fingertips. So sometimes on my left arm, my left side is not as not symmetrical to my right. So that's just me. Inhaling out. So remember, this is a two-stage inhalation. Inhaling up, 1, even deeper, 2. Inhaling up, 1, even deeper, 2. You really want to watch that color visualization gathering in the belly. Push it 2 inches beyond the palms. One more. And now railings on both sides. We're going to turn the waist, leaving the hips behind as much as you can. One palm faces the other. Eye on the middle finger of the top hand. The elbow is down, very, very relaxed on the top arm. So the shoulder blade tucks in. Shoulder blade tucks in, up here, disappears into the back to close the valve and make the circulation shoot to the palms and fingertips. Other hand is underneath, and the shoulder blade of this back hand also disappears into the back. You hold the posture and slowly but surely increase the turn. The breathing is inhaling into one hand, exhaling through the other. You're going to inhale and draw the color into the top hand, trace it down into the belly, and exhale through the bottom. Normally you'd stay here for about 2 minutes. And again, consistently checking in with yourself for your posture. The shoulders are relaxed. Shoulder blades are disappearing into the back. Imaginary string still lifts you from the top of the head, and the tailbone falls straight down. Weight on the heels, mostly on the heels of the legs. All the breathing into the lower dantian, just below the belly button. Middle finger is nose height in front of the nose. And exhale, turn the bottom palm down, top palm out. Now the bottom hand faces down. You're inhaling through the top. Top palm faces out. Normally you start on the left side too. And the hands are facing and your eyes are facing about 45 degrees at first. And then if you can turn more, that's great. You don't want to strain yourself though. And then inhale, shifting the hands. Left hand is down and the right hand is up. And the elbow is down, very relaxed. Eye on the middle finger, which is nose height. Reestablish the posture. We're still at the same turn. The bottom hand, the arm is still rolled in to help the shoulder blade disappear into the back. And you're inhaling into the top. exhaling down the bottom. Inhale, turn, and drill. Drill as you turn the bottom hand. Both palms should be facing up. I have scar tissue on my bottom, on both my wrists, so they won't turn all the way. But the bottom hand should face the palm of the top hand. Elbow on the top softens, as if just a string holds up the wrist. The shoulder blade disappears into the back as usual. On both shoulders are down, relaxed. Eye in the middle finger, the head, heart, hands all should be facing 45 degrees out. Inhaling through the top hand, exhaling through the bottom. You're leaving the hip behind, the waist. All right. Bottom hand turns down. Top hand faces out. Palm faces out of the top hand. Try to turn a little more if you can. Remember to smile while you're doing this at times. It's an inward smile just for you. Constantly check in with your posture. The elbows relaxed. Imaginary string. Weight on the heels. Tailbone down. And shift. One hand floats down, the other one comes up. Inhaling up. Inhaling through the top, exhaling through the bottom. Bottom hand rolled inward. Arm rolled inward. Exhale, shift to one side. Inhaling up, golden rooster. Tailbone drops, imaginary string lifts up. Top hand protects the forehead. Bottom hand protects the lower gate, just in front of the reproductive organs. The thigh should actually be parallel to the ground, and the heels, hand in hand, are all on an imaginary line in front of you, along with your nose, that reinforces your center line awareness. That center line that lifts you from the top of the head, the imaginary string. You draw the same thing in front of you and place the hand, the heel on it. And your nose should be aligned with it as well. We'll shift sides. Exhaling down, soften the groin. The back hip melts into the supporting groin. And then inhale, opening up the groin, thigh parallel to the ground. Heel, hand, lower gate, upper gate, forehead. The shoulders are softened. Shoulder blades disappear into the back here. From the side, sitting down. Mouth closed, tongue in the ceiling of the mouth. Normally you'd cycle these for a few minutes. We're going to drop down and exhale, going forward, pushing off the back leg, and you're going to establish your A-frame posture, which means a back heel, straight line from the back heel to the top of the head, back heel's anchored into the ground. 70% of the weight is forward. The hips and shoulders are square. Sometimes they'll angle or collapse into the front groin. And we'll do old man rowing the boat. Inhaling down, shifting to the back leg from the A-frame. When you shift back, the toes are up. You should be able to lift this foot. And again, these toes are facing forward. If they were facing 45 degrees out, like the Yang said, you would not be getting as much work in the back legs. You would not be developing as much strength. It is harder to keep the feet parallel. That is one of the tenets of the Wu style. So we'll be here, and then exhale, go forward. Inhale, drawing in, exhaling forward. The breath is on the ridge hand, like in karate. It's on the ridge hand right here, between the index and thumb. Like you're draping the arms over, and inhale, letting them float down with the breath, as if you're guiding pressure past you, and exhale. Back leg? So on the front leg, the back leg just has the attention on the heel. So, yeah, even when you go forward, there's a tension on the heel, just a little bit. So that same mechanic happens all over the body when you have little adjustments straight line from the top of the head. So you tuck in the chin a little bit to maintain. Otherwise, if you stick up, you're actually not, it's not a straight back. You're flexing, and this controls the perception of time. So you want to really slow yourself down and have as much time as possible. And we'll switch legs. Remember, old man rowing the boat is a two-part exercise. So we're only doing part one on both sides so far. And then from here, push forward and inhale. So now we reverse it. And it can look very smooth. It's actually highly detailed. The hands are inhaling, pulling in, as if they're sucking pressure down and inward. And then you load the hands right in front of the collarbone for your push. You exhale and push forward off the back heel, sliding the shoulder blades in, and the elbows drop and drape downward, as if you're putting pressure on someone's shoulders and chest. And then inhale, pull back. Again, it could be a really beautiful circle, but it's really important to have awareness of all those little moments so you can train them when you feel like it. Exhaling, feeling the weight in the elbows. Inhale, load, front of the collarbone. Exhale, slide. Switch legs. Okay, good. We're good on time. So here, inhaling up, load, as if the breath lifts the wrists. Exhale, sliding out. Eyes on the middle fingers with special attention on the wrists. That's where the breath is pushing to. Exhale, you're pushing the color visualization of the breath toward the wrists as the elbows drop. It makes the arm a massive leverage point, this point right here. Inhaling deep. Stay down or widening. Exhale, cover. And we're going to push and turn. Both feet are parallel 45 degrees into the corner. And the hand from the other side, eyes on the back, middle finger, and the middle finger is pointed upward. The other hand is pointing 45 degrees into the other corner. So you have one corner, two corners, three corners that you're pointing toward. Feet are pointing out. Lead hand past the body. The other one's behind into the corner. Weight is 70% on the lead, just so you can see the other side. Weight is 70% on the lead leg, straight line from the back heel to the top of the head. And the arms are not straightened by the elbows, but you're extending or reaching through the curve of the elbows. So you keep the curvature of the arm, but you open up the shoulder blades, which opens the rib cage and the obliques. You get this wonderful spiraling. It's called reaching through the curve. Inhaling into the belly. And every time you take an exhalation, you soften into that reach through the curve. Eye on the middle finger of the back hand. Make sure both feet are parallel 45 degrees into the other corner. Toward the door. And you're consistently reestablishing your posture every few seconds, a few minutes. Inhaling into the belly, drawing it. And exhale, pushing through the palms of the fingertips. And inhale, draw in. Cut across to the other side. Pivot the feet. And exhale out. So if your front, just to make this a little more clear, the front is here, you're turning around toward the back corner, the farthest corner away from your front. Lead hand. The feet are facing 45 degrees towards your initial front. On the other hand, your lead hand is 45 degrees past this imaginary 180-degree line that your heels are on. Push more toward the groin. Inhale, drawing in. And exhale, pushing. This time with this push, you're going to lift the back heel and toe up, just slightly above the ground. The other hand is just 90 degrees out to the side with the elbow relaxed. I'll show you from the other side. The elbow is relaxed on both arms, from the front or from a side view, what it looks like of my front. Inhaling into the belly, exhaling, pushing the breath through the pushing hand. Make sure you feel some work being done in the buttocks, almost as if there's a straight line from the top of the head to the back heel. Feel the lower back, butt supporting all the way through the back. The hand is placed middle finger in front of the nose, elbow down, so there should be a line coming from your center outward. Inhale, switch to the other side. Do the press. And now it's chopping the laurel tree. Inhale, chop up, exhale, shift away. Notice that we'll be pivoting between the 45 degrees stance, where the feet are 45 degrees in the corner. One hand, both hands are down as if you're swimming. The back hand rises up and chops up 45, and then you exhale. Before you shift the weight, open the back leg, and then exhale into it. Really use the weights, exhaling down, inhaling up. When you go up, you don't change level of the body. It's the hand going up. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Inhaling up. Exhaling down, keep going. Just checking the time. Okay, good. Inhaling. So this and the next exercise packaged together are two of the most important exercises for waist movement and power that I've ever experienced. Or should I say the two most important. There's nothing that I've experienced more dynamic in terms of range, especially for martial arts. You really have to make sure that the breath is controlling here and that the hands are guiding, arms are like blades. Inhale, chopping up. The backhand is as if it's moving water out of the way. The breath is being pulled in, the visualization into the top hand, and exhaling out of the same hand. Inhale, scooping up, drawing the breath in, chopping up to the corner. Feel the hip turn, the waist, and both feet should be 45 degrees. Super important. You'll know you're doing it right if you just look down and see your hips and shoulders aligned, and then you turn off of that alignment, and then open back leg, shift in. If you're doing a throw on someone, especially push hands or any grappling art, be able to open and then crank them without hurting your knees. Very important. So you're practicing turning the leg before you shift weight onto it. And that helps you generate much more power versus doing something like this, which many martial artists do and can do well. Do a few more. Yeah. Just be cognizant. So that was chopping the laurel tree. And now we'll go to sleeping tiger rolls over. This is the big one. One out 90, hands are 90 degrees. One's in front of the nose, the other one's out to the side. You're going to chop. There's 5 variations of this. We'll just do one of them today. You're going to chop and then inhale, scoop up. Very important that you have the A-frame and you maintain it the entire time. Nose over the knee, knee over the big toe, weight on the heel, straight line from the heel to the top of the head, the back heel. Palm up, palm down, and you chop and use the waist to ride everything up. Inhaling, chop, exhaling down, inhaling up. You can really figure out your own breathing pattern here, but I like to exhale down and inhale up. In this variation, again, there's several of them, the head remains straight and all the work is being done in the waist. Notice that from the side, there's no pumping of the leg at all. You may see people in a park doing this, which is a totally different experience. You want to maintain the discipline of the stance and the discipline of these imaginary lines coming out, chopping down in front of you. You want to be sensitive on the entire forearm, with the eyes on the middle finger. And you're using the waist, so when this backhand comes up, you can feel the hip. This time the hip drives. This is one of those exercises where you want to integrate the hip and the waist. So it's all motivated by the breath, but it's hip and waist. But you have to allow both of them to work together. Otherwise, you can think it's just hip or just waist. It's both. Weight, the front foot weight is on the heel. I transfer it intentionally to the heel, because otherwise, if it's on the ball of the foot, I find that it hurts my knee over time. And one palm comes up, really fully up. And you want to really feel the power of your hip and waist in your fingertips. So you want to feel that connected so that if you're touching somebody, you can move them with the power of the waist in your finger. Very, very important. Get that little motion, brings a massive amount of strength. And then of course the leg will start burning so you can shift legs. And I recommend doing just this one 50 times each on each leg. And then when you start doing all the variations, maybe 5 or 10 times each. And you want to feel the corkscrew. Really feel the reaching through the hip. The other side. Yeah, you'll feel it in the lower back too. So the entire back, because of the nature of the posture. And this is a great example, especially if you're playing with wrestlers. This is a great example of Tai Chi's counter wrestling skill set in terms of developing it, because it looks like you're overextending, but by nature of the stance and the work that's being done for you to maintain it, you can really keep a lot of pressure in your stance and behind you, so if someone's trying to grab your leg, it becomes really challenging to lift you because you're not taking all the pressure, overcommitting essentially with all the pressure in one leg. And from here, sometimes we'll do this on an angle, but essentially from here, come back out to a horse stance and exhale. This is lordly tiger leaves the cave. You're going to exhale, I will be on your back hand, but nose will be facing your back hand, but the eye will be on the front hand. Front hand is pointing 45 degrees to the corner with the foot, and you're going to lay the ribs on the thigh, or as much as you can by pick up the back heel. And let me know if I need to drop the camera down. Let me drop the camera down a little bit. Inhale deep, exhaling out. Inhaling deep. Eye on the palm pushing 45 degrees into the corner, nose toward the palm that's out. No, back heel should be up. Back as straight as you can. Inhaling up and exhale toward the other side. Inhale, come up. Normally you do that 2 times on each side. And lay the hands flat here. If you remember embracing the one from the yin set of Neigong, which is shoulder height, this one is just as high as your rib cage. And just relax here for a moment. Inhaling into the belly, exhaling to the palms of fingertips. And this one exercise has 2 parts. Normally you'll stay here for 2 minutes. And then inhale, bringing the wrists, elbows are very relaxed downward. The thumbs are in front of the eyes, and ideally you can find your blind spot on both eyes and slide the thumbs into the blind spot. Be very aware of your eyes, where the blind spot might be. If that's too challenging, just keep them just slightly to the side, outside of each eye. But if you can find that blind spot, you'll literally see the thumb disappear on each hand. And then cycle back down, hands floating just under the same height as the floating ribs. The shoulder blades disappear into the back here, just like embracing the one. Palms are flat, elbows are down like blades. And we have 2 exercises left. Inhale back up to the blind spot. I just found it on my left eye. I'm very happy. Thought I lost it. Exhale, the hands flat, down. And we've done this before. Inhaling up, sucking the belly button. Actually fix the camera a little bit more. Bring the breath up to the heart and exhale, push out. Inhale, drawing in. Even deeper. Exhale, push out. Really look at the way Mark did. Good stuff, Mark. Inhale, draw in. Draw the color up to the heart. Push it out. Inhale, drawing in the belly. Even deeper, start to suck the belly button in and feel the pressure rolling up to the heart. And then keep the mouth closed, tongue concealing the mouth. Inhale, drawing in. The side. Two more. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, shifting. Final exercise. Stirring, inhaling up. Move the hands to the back. And exhale, wash down the kidneys, down the buttocks. Inhale, draw the breath, color into the belly, and split it, move it through the liver, the spleen, to the kidneys. And exhale, wash down, let the fingers and the color ride together downward. Inhale, drawing the visualization up in the belly. Exhale, wash it down. Two more. One more. Inhaling, just the fingertips coming up. Exhaling to float down. Just fingertips up. Exhale, they float down. Weight is on the heels, very intentionally. One more here. Next exercise, variation, or next part. Inhale as if you're lifting rocks with the hands, and the weight shifts to the balls of the feet. So you slightly shift the weight forward, and then exhale, and you shift back to the heels. Inhale like you're picking up rocks, gently with the fingertips. Exhaling down, all the way down to the heel. Last part, inhaling up. And just hold and sit in silence. Calm the nerves, especially after a set like that, you really want to calm the nerves. the yin set, we normally slap. After the yang set, you chop. So the hands come all the way down, and you chop up the front of the body with the blade of the hand. You should feel a little bit sharper, chopping, 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 chopping. Chopping up the inside, chopping down the outside. Chopping up the inside, chopping down. Chopping, or fist over the shoulder, and then chopping down the back. Fingers to the back wall, or chest to the sky or ceiling, hips forward, point the toes, exhale, butt back, fingers forward. Pop the knees and hang up. Down. Inhaling up. Close the eyes, inhale white light. Exhale, spread through the entire body. Inhale, roll white light up the front of the body. Feet to head, exhale, roll it down the back, head to heel. Inhale up the left side, foot to head. Exhale, roll it down the right, head to foot. Inhale, white light into the belly. Exhale, push it to the top of the head like a fountain. Surround the body, make a big bubble. One more breath, white light to the belly. Exhale down the legs into the ground. They come up and around like a fountain in reverse, making a big bubble around. Just sit in this life. Gratitude for the body, good people around you, the spaces around you.